So I was not expecting at all to get a 1 year time skip, seemingly 1 year time skip, because basically, you know, Sasuke says, oh, I'm a year older now, spring came, so it could have been that it was a few months, but at the very least, we know that Sasuke has gotten 1 year older, so it could be around a year, maybe some months and whatnot, but getting a time skip already, that was kind of unexpected, to be honest with you. And not in a bad way either, like, starting off seeing Sasuke at the beginning of the chapter, like, in my last review, I basically said, okay, what the fuck's going on? Why is Sasuke's hair like almost all white? We could definitely see that. But now in this chapter, his hair, the blackness has gone back in. So is it something to do with his personality? Is it something, the fact that slowly Kaneki is creeping in and that's why the black hair is coming back in? What's going on? And that was fucking hilarious to see that Mutsuki jumped 2 ranks and Udi is still bitching. Oh my gosh, I thought Big Madam would have taught him a fucking lesson when she put that motherfucker in her mouth, but apparently not, because he's still bitching about ranks and still being that character that is like, fuck you, shut up already. And then finding out about Juzo as well. Juzo basically being on the same class as Mato and Arima. That is pretty fucking sick as well, and rightfully so, he deserves it. Looking at them, they all kind of changed. I like getting to see that their character designs have grown. A lot of authors, they like to play it safe. They don't like to change things up too much because it's like, are my readers gonna abandon me, whatnot? He was like, no, they're going to change a little bit. They're going to look a little bit different. Although, in retrospect, in the Christmas chapter, the 31.5, which now I understand why he did a 0.5 because he was doing a little time skip or whatever. At the end of the chapter, Sasuke's character design was really off, now that I think about it. He kind of even looked like Ide, so that was why I was a little bit confused in my review and whatnot, because he just looked really weird. And as far as the whole ownership period goes regarding Hinami, I honestly think that that's going to be the breaking point. I think once the ownership period ends, depending on how long it goes, whatever, because remember, it's been months, so he's had ownership over her quite some time, and God knows how long the ownership period goes. But when that goes down and it's time for Hinami to be released and they're going to do whatever they want to her, I think that's going to be when Sasuke or Kaneki, whoever's in control at that particular point, decides to go MIA and is going to finally leave the CCG. Because if you think about it, Hinami's at risk. At the end of the day, he did it to protect her, and if it's Sasuke or Kaneki, regardless of what, they're going to want to protect her still. And Mato, while Sasuke feels bad, ultimately Hinami's an innocent girl. She's just been put in shitty circumstances, so it's going to be interesting, and I'm calling it right now. I think that that's going to be the big breaking point. When it's time to execute Hinami or send her to prison, that's when shit's going to go down, which I'm curious. Is she already in prison? Is she in some special room? Is she living with Sasuke? What's going on with Hinami? Where is she right now? And as always, some of the most interesting bits of the chapter was definitely when you see slowly Kaneki is coming back, and it was interesting where he said basically two personalities can't coexist at the same time. So at some given point, either Kaneki's going to have to go away for good, or Sasuke's going to be thrown to the back burner, because he basically told him in the chapter, we can't both coexist at the same time. It's either going to be that I'm in control and you're in the shadows like I am right now, or vice versa. So at some given point, that's foreshadowing definitely that somebody's going to have to go. And I'm really hoping that, even though I'm starting to like Sasuke, I'm not going to lie to you, I actually do enjoy his character. He's been built up real nicely. Can Ken come back already? Even though, yeah, the tragedy at the end, he's our dude. He's the dude we've been reading this shit for. Bring Ken back, baby, please. Unless there's some sort of project done where there's like 2 Kaneki bodies or some weird shit like that, which is possible with the science in Tokyo Ghoul. And then at the end where he basically said, don't erase me or whatever, when they were talking back and forth, it's just really symbolic of their relationship. Honestly, their relationship is crazy as hell, but the way it was presented and everything, again, just showcasing, I think with the black hair returning and everything, slowly but surely it's a struggle in the body for who's going to take control, and hopefully again Kaneki's coming back soon. And that was mostly the first half of the chapter. And then we get the second half, which was surprising, because you would think after a year time skip or however long it was, we would stay around with these characters. But then we go to a flashback, finding out more about Tsukiyama and whatnot. And the way Suishida has been doing it, he's been setting it up, and I think Tsukiyama in some given point in one of the upcoming arcs is going to be a major key player with this whole hunger shit and everything. Something's going to happen big, and that's why I think he's been slowly edging him in. We get a panel here, a page there, Kane here, there. It's building up that Tsukiyama, either he's going to go mad and just start going crazy on people. Something's going to happen, and that's probably why he's been building it up this way. And it makes more sense now why Kane looks up to Tsukiyama and does all these things. Not only it's because he's a servant, but when he was younger and he was down and out, Tsukiyama kind of cheered him up, so now he wants to do the same thing from him, getting a little more of his character as well. Nicely done there. And then the end of the chapter had me scratching my head like, what the fuck is happening with Shu? Like, it kind of looked a little bit like in a way, and forgive me if I'm mistaken, he was kind of restrained, and then like I don't know if they have him locked up there because he's so crazy. And the reason why I would say also that he looked like he was restrained, because he was basically saying, give me something to eat, anything is fine. So is it that he wants to break his vow, but his father is just like saying no, and they got him locked up away? Is he too dangerous? Why is it that they're doing this to him, or is he doing it to himself? Again, if he's doing it to himself, he would say anything is fine, then he would just go out and get a meal. So is he being restrained and they're locking him in captivity? Or is it just that he's gone completely mad? I don't know. That was just a kind of what the fuck at the end of the chapter. And overall, again, a good chapter of Tokyo Ghoul, yet again setting things up. I was, again, thrown off by a year time skip, or some decent time skip. And a lot of things being set up and foreshadowed in this one. Again, the whole thing with Hinami. What do you guys think? Do you think that when it's time for her to be released, or the ownership period is up, that's when things is going to go absolutely haywire? Is Tsukiyama being restrained and his family has him like that, or is he doing it to himself? Why would he do it to himself but then say anything is fine to eat? Is it just that he's going completely mad? And what do you think is going to happen with Sasuke and Kaneki, the whole thing that's going on in their mind right now? Honestly, I think the symbolism is there with the whole black hair kind of taking over yet again. It's just a matter of when and where it's going to happen. And your overall thoughts of the chapter, again, good stuff. 7.5, 7-ish, whatever. Mainly set up and kind of slowly showcasing some of the ranks and whatnot. And Udi, this is what you get, motherfucker. You were doing all this and you still bitching. Fuck you. But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you do so as well, that'd be amazing. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.